Yeah, it's been pretty intense the last few days, and I thought I'd just speak a bit on the new challenge, so to say, that once energy comes up, yeah, tying back into what I earlier spoke about, how do you establish healthy habits? Um, well, when they're put in place and it's actually running, in my case, that manifests in energy coming up. Um, in this case, at least, the new challenge is how to deal, yeah, how to respectfully deal with this new energy. Because in my case, at least, there's the tendency of wanting to do so much because over so many years I've been able to do only so little. So, um, there's a whole bunch of things that come to mind for this. It's on the one hand, how do I not overdo it? Because then I expend too much energy and I crash the system and land again in the energetic hole, right? At the same time, I also want to celebrate, yeah, kind of the victory and actually be joyful and do things. Um, so it's a fine line in between these two. Um, what happens for me, for example, that I end up doing more automatically. That's what happens. If I'm not super clear that I'm just going to be very, very calm, I'm just going to lean in and do more things, right? Because there's this thirst. Now, then there's a certain point where I notice, oh, it's getting, yeah, it's getting difficult for the system. And now comes the question, like day before yesterday, for example. Yeah, I had so much footage already. Now, how do I deal with this? Making these videos is my unnegotiable thing. It's the anchor point, so to say. No? Now, if I stick to this no matter what, I run the risk of becoming rigid. And what happens in the rigidity? I kind of start bulldozing across, right? I actually lose connection with myself. I say, look, there's a promise, and now I'm going to do it no matter what. And then I might actually sacrifice connection with myself, and I might even run the risk of crashing the system. Yeah. The other extreme would be to immediately back off once the waters get a little bit rough, right? And then I immediately start losing momentum. Yeah. Or in the picture of the airplane, if I turn off the engine all the time, well, right, I start losing altitude, which, I mean, no big deal if I just lose a bit of altitude, yeah, and then I reignite. But it's a fine line in between these two, because here I can easily lose my foothold, kind of, and either slide back the mountain, back down the mountain, or just free fall, and the airplane goes all the way down until I land, hopefully not crash. Yeah, and then I need to reignite, accelerate, play the whole thing one more time. Is a tremendous energy expenditure. So, but on the other side is this. Yeah, I see a great danger also in pushing too hard, especially if the system is physically fragile. Yeah? So what I decided on day before yesterday, for example, I had the footage. I had a small version of the video as well, but then I said, you know what? I kept my promise for myself actually because I made the video, right? So the service that the point, yeah, the whole purpose of making the videos was already served. Everything else, everything happened in that day. But now to push it further than that would have been too much for me. So I've decided that if that's the case, on those days I might just simply not finish editing a video and then just skip a day, you know? And then either release the same one the next day or combine it with another one or something like that. You know? I've decided on that. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, and I think there's also this. I keep coming back to this, but for me it's the underlying idea of of thinking I can just figure it out. I find a system and then I just kind of tick it off and it's done. I don't have to navigate anymore. But the picture that I'm getting again and again is this: the willingness to walk the tightrope and just to stay connected, to stay connected to myself in real time and see, am I leaning too far either side? Because no matter which way I lean, I'm gonna fall, right? Either I'm gonna fall prey to slide down the mountain, or I'm gonna fall prey to become too rigid and then crash eventually as well. So in both cases, I will end up again in the energetic hole. So yeah, this is my invitation for myself to walk the tightrope. Yeah, I'll leave you with this for today, and see you tomorrow.